Happy Taco Tuesday. Hopefully everyone is having a great and wonderful day. Okay, we have a lot of things to talk about in today's episode because, well, a lot of interesting things are going to be happening over the next couple weeks. So if you are very much in these stocks as much as I am, well, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. Probably going to be some really good buying the dip opportunities because I can definitely see that there's still a lot of fears, especially around this market. I'm just kind of really laughing and also looking at these names right here. Although this direction is a little different than this direction here. But yeah, I'm looking at my list of stocks for the upcoming earnings. Yesterday, we talked about Palantir a lot in that video. This video is going to be dedicated to SoFi, but I am going to be talking a little bit about Adobe here as well too. So if you are a Adobe shareholder, this video is going to benefit you a little bit as well too, especially for motivation. I'm going to try to keep this video under 15 minutes. If you all find value in today's episode, smash the like button and also subscribe for future content entirely free. Here we go. Okay, so firstly on the list, Meta's earnings, January 28th, that is tomorrow. We already talked about Meta's earnings, pretty much gave my game plan of what I'm looking to do. That video is posted a couple videos ago, so if you want to check out content on Meta, check that out. SoFi already put out a SoFi earnings. I'm a raging SoFi bull. Pretty much, it's going to be a lot of external factors around SoFi. Palantir's video yesterday got uploaded. AMD, I'm going to be making that video probably tomorrow, but I want to go ahead and make PayPal's video today. Ironically, PayPal is going to be the first on the list on February 3rd of next week. PayPal in the morning, AMD after hours. And then the following week, we got Hood. And then we also got Honest the end of Feb, and then Adobe once again, very late earnings. Same with NVIDIA as well too. So that's basically pretty much on the event calendar here. I did buy some stock today. I bought 1 share of Adobe, increasing my Adobe position. Why am I doing that? Because there is utter fears around a company that is growing quarter over quarter, year over year. And their CEO and management team has stated, we are not seeing AI taking over our company. Real quick, before diving into PayPal here, or I should say PAINPal, it's really devastating to a lot of people. A lot of people are losing a lot of money in this stock. Adobe management team has stated that we are not seeing anything in the last several years, nor in the future, about pretty much our revenue declining because of AI. A lot of Wall Streeters, they have so many big fears because they believe that all these software companies are going to be going away. They believe that AI is going to be taking over just overnight. That's what they're predicting. Overnight, Adobe is going to go away. I use Adobe products every single day, and the vast majority of people listening, watching, probably does the same. You may not even know what products of Adobe you may be using. Their network system is insane, okay? The stock market is such a dramatic, humorous place, but at the same time, you can make so much money. It is unbelievable. And there is just so much fear around these software companies. And it is essentially the same fear if we go back several years ago. Or honestly, not even really, we could go back even further, but we could also just go back to last year. There was a lot of fears about a massive recession that was coming in the market. Well, that's pretty much playing out to be the opposite. When there is fear around phenomenal companies, it is a buy the dip opportunity. It truly is. Now, here's the thing though. Can Adobe go lower? That is a question that is very much, I want to say maybe not the $1 million question, but it is definitely a life-changing opportunity to to primarily have, and I am, sorry, my screen is all messed up. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I had to get rid of some screenshots. Adobe. You want to talk about a technical analysis basis, the stock is beaten down. Technical analysis, go back 1 year here. You go back 1 year to December of 24. You're talking $550. My average is, I gotta adjust my average now because I just bought another share. But pretty much we have a big support level to all the way back to September 2022. Like, there was a reason for Adobe to be down here along with the stock market in general with rate hikes. But right now you have a company that is just triple beating, putting up good numbers. You want to talk about a double up? This stock could produce you a double up. Okay, a double up is 100%. You go ahead and buy in these levels. The stock goes to 550, 600. We go back to all-time highs. Like, it's going to eventually be the case because Adobe's products are not going anywhere. They have license agreements. They got it's pretty much in every single computer. I bought a new computer for a Christmas present. And I'm probably thinking about getting another like little side computer for a birthday present this coming June. And Adobe is on there. It's on the Microsoft store. Like no, it's not going away. How can AI really replace Adobe when we use Adobe in ways that we don't even really just think about? Like right now, you could very well be using an Adobe product and you may not even be thinking that you're actually using a product by Adobe. Their management team is highly innovative, highly adaptive, and all of these software companies know that AI is here to stay. They're not stupid, but it's pretty hilarious. So if Adobe continues to really be beaten down, pushed lower, I'm just gonna continue accumulating shares here. And by the time you know it, on this channel profile, this Bung profile here, aka public profile challenge, talk more in the end of the video here. But we could very well see my Adobe position here, which my Adobe position actually overtook Palantir's position here. Depending on what Palantir does after earnings, it could be the opposite. But I would feel very comfortable pushing my Adobe position well into the $5,000, $6 range, like throughout this year. It is such a great company when you actually look into their products and look into the management team. It's just nonsense how they're just being so utterly beaten down. But like I said, I ended up buying an Adobe share today. Bought 3 PAINPAL shares as well too here. So I want to go ahead and talk about my whole take about PayPal. I'm 37 years old. I've been using PayPal since I was like 12, 13, since I was on the internet. Obviously my mom was I was a teenager, but using my mom was right beside me with supervision support. Don't worry. But I mean, I've ordered all through my first job during high school was building computers, very much out of tune of building computers nowadays. But I was building, for a side gig, for some side hustles. And I would order stuff all the time using PayPal, just constantly. I actually didn't even know that PayPal acquired Venmo, believe it or not, up until like a couple years ago. I'm like, what? I run some other YouTube channels on here, some gaming channels. I do some other marketing business as well on the internet as well too. And I get paid through PayPal. So, I mean, like, maybe maybe we're all missing something in PayPal over here, but this stock is undervalued on a fundamental basis and also technical analysis basis. It's undervalued. Okay, the company is worth more than what it's trading on. It's undervalued. Now, I've actually been, this is my second time in this stock. I was actually looking at purchasing this stock many years ago, around this time frame, early 2021. I'm actually really glad I did not purchase it, but I know that there are people among the PayPal community that actually did buy shares in this area, because during this time frame that we had this big monetary easing where the Federal Reserve was printing just money like crazy, the stock ran up. Well, guess what? The Federal Reserve is already started to print money like crazy, $40 billion a month. And then we're going to be getting a new Fed chairman in the later half this year. It's all politics. You think that new Fed chair is not going to be aggressively cutting interest rates cuts? I mean, President Trump is going to put in someone that is in favorable of printing money for the big, beautiful bill, and also not to mention lowering interest rates, whether you believe it should be or not. It's all politics. I ended up getting into PayPal briefly, actually around this time frame, and I ended up walking away with a little bit over 15% of profit. I ended up making a quick couple $1,000s worth of profits. And the reason I got out of PayPal is because of the momentum. I was buying stocks like crazy the summer of 2024. I pretty much depleted my cash reserves. And then I ended up selling after the election. So the reason I sold PayPal is because I was clearing out of a lot of momentum trades during this time period. Obviously, me being a shareholder in PayPal, I'm not here for the long term. If you're a long-term PayPal shareholder, hopefully that doesn't disappoint you. I'm looking to hold PayPal very much for a swing. And I do believe that there's going to be an aggressive swing upwards. It could be 6 months, it could be 9 months, maybe all this year. Could be a long-term swing. But I'm not looking to be here for like a multiple year PayPal shareholder. PayPal is definitely on the lower end of my stocks here. Obviously, SoFi, AMD, Palantir, Hood, Meta, very much different. Even Adobe now, just double checking their company, very different. But PayPal, Honest, and even like maybe Netflix too, they're very much going to be swings here. But this company's undervalued on a fundamental and also technical analysis basis. It's a screaming buy, but I could be wrong. Maybe Wall Street is entirely wrong. It looks like this is another thing that I have to double check, but dividends as well too. So a lot of people can be looking at PayPal and saying, hey, they're going to be moving more into a value play. It's going to be a dividend stock. It's the stock price is going to continue to go down, and they're just going to be issuing dividends. It's no longer a growth company. But if you actually look at what Alex Chris, the new CEO that came on a couple years ago, typically a new CEO's vision takes a couple years to play out. And when you have an economy with a monetary easing policy, it can significantly benefit like a company like PayPal. And then PayPal wants to move into the banking sector, kind of like SoFi is. That's another catalyst in itself. So my personal game plan is that if we do get a nice pop here, if we do get a pop like we did, I believe it was like a 10% pop going into their earnings back in October. For me personally, it could be, hey, see you all later. There is a lot of people around this stock that has had their hearts broken. A lot of people have averages on PayPal in the hundreds, close to 100. Maybe they've dollar cost average down. A lot of people just want to sell and get out of this friggin' stock, and it's the definition of dead money. But you tell me if this stock is dead money or not, because here's the reality. So this is a graph of their upcoming projected earnings. Obviously, Q4 of 2024, we had a dip in Q1 of this past year, but it's been pretty much growing. And this quarter's rev is looking like it's going to beat a year-over-year basis, which is very nice. But then again, we could get a very much surprise and maybe get a lot more. EPS, though, has a lot of people really concerned, but it's really all about now the guidance, and it comes down to, hey, do you trust the management team? That's ultimately what it comes down to. So that's basically just looking at some charts here. Another thing too, analysis of profitability growth. EPS momentum has surpassed bottom line estimates in each of the last 4 quarters. Q3 resulted particularly notable, beating EPS by over 11%. This is where it basically makes the argument of, hey, it's a value play, not a growth company. Revenue acceleration goes to still that it's a growing company. Model in Q1 2000 revenue has accelerated 7.3%. Most recent quarters by strong performance in Venmo. Very big believer in Venmo. I use Venmo all the friggin' time here. Efficiency, transaction, dollar margin grew by 8%. This is also very big too to take in consideration. And then lastly here, basically just have a little chart to do year over year showing revenue growth, adjusted EPS actual and EPS surprise as well. I mean, these numbers it's fluctuating, but at the same time, you also got to remember that we are in a unique period where we could be coming out of a rolling recession, and a company like PayPal obviously got hit with 2022. So coming out of this supposed rolling recession, maybe a company like PayPal is going to go on a parabolical run. Here's the reality, and here's what my game plan really is. If we get a gigantic pop on PayPal of anything whatsoever, I may very well take that small gains just like I did over a year ago now, and I will be praying every single night that this stock goes on a parabolical run, and I am completely wrong. And I will go ahead and remind PayPal shareholders in every single video that I make. And I'm actually really dead wrong, because if the stock does pop to a pretty decent evaluation after earnings, which does happen a lot of times. A lot of times companies that are undervalued going into earnings, they beat on earnings, you will get a very nice pop. It could be a 10, 15, 20% pop. One company that really came to mind, honestly, is Celsius. I was actually a Celsius shareholder a little bit over a year ago, and they experienced a very, very nice pop pretty much here, August of this past year. So something like this where it's undervalued in the 40s, and then you just experience Celsius is trading very closely. But at this time, all the way down here, they're just very, very much like undervalued on a fundamental analysis basis. So if you get PayPal theoretically to have a nice pop here, it could stabilize. And if you're a long-term shareholder, that's phenomenal. What would I personally do with my profits and also my cash from PayPal? I'd be basically funneling that into any of my current holdings, pretty much minus my big one. SoFi I'm really good on. AMD I'm good on. But I mean, if Palantir flops for whatever reason, I'd funnel stuff on in there. Same thing with Hood. Meta, they would have to... I think Meta is going to surprise a lot of people, which is really good. Adobe, I could really position because when it comes down to it, do I see PayPal doing a double up in 2026? It could very well be a coin toss, depending what this new monetary policy is, depending what they have pretty much unveiling. But I really do think Adobe could be a pretty well play, especially when they're just going to continuing to put up phenomenal growth. So that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. That's really what I'm personally looking to kind of do. If you are a long-term shareholder to PayPal, like I said, you want to know what's funny? Maybe we're kind of both right. Maybe I take my small profits from PayPal, put it into Adobe. Adobe does double up. And then at the same time, PayPal does a double up throughout 2026. That would be awesome. We would all win, right? I really, if you're a PayPal bull, understand that the company is not going anywhere unless people know something that I am missing. I've been using PayPal my entire life. I just feel more, I want to say, a little bit better about Adobe because I passively use Adobe products every single day. PayPal I use for business. Damn, I kind of just really punched myself in the face virtually here. I mean, I use both products just about every single day. So that's a good thing. Don't give up, PayPal shareholders. I really do believe this CEO is going to do good things. Okay, went over my 15-minute mark here. Hope everyone's having a great day. Stay motivated, and new video tomorrow. Later.